In her latest budget, uh, the Chancellor delivered this blow to small family farms yesterday, tightening inheritance tax relief on agricultural assets to £1 million, with 50% relief on assets above that threshold. This policy, intended to curb tax-free transfers among wealthier estates, has sparked outcry among farming communities who see it as a clear case of the government underestimating rural economics and eroding the family farming legacy even further than it's bad enough the huge impact of Brexit on farming communities, but now this is simply appalling. The agricultural property relief, the APR, allowed intergenerational transfers of land and property with minimal tax burdens, securing family farms for the future. Under the new policy, family-run farms face substantial tax bills threatening their very existence. The National Farmers Union, the NFU, called it a disastrous budget, likely to drive small farmers out of business and pave the way for corporate land grabs, potentially steering the UK towards large-scale factory-like farms that clash with traditional rural values. Outspoken figures like Jeremy Clarkson and Kirsty Allsop have criticised Rachel Reeves' apparent disregard for rural votes. They've criticised the government's disregard, amplifying sentiments expressed by many in the farming community who feel abandoned and who feel shocked today once they've started looking at the details. And the details are all in that paperwork that has only really emerged late last night, this morning. Steve Barclay, the Shadow Rural Affairs Secretary, lambasted Labour's broken promise on APR, and the National Farming Union further warned that this change endangers the broader rural economy as farmers hold back on reinvestment, while Conservative voices argue the policy poses a death knell to family farming. Labour's response that only 2,000 estates would be affected rings hollow in the eyes of many rural advocates who argue the policy would weaken the sector, would weaken the stability and weaken food security. With anger mounting, the budget marks a worrying shift in government priorities, one that many argue disregards the critical role families play in farming in the UK, in feeding the nation and preserving the UK's extraordinary agricultural heritage. As I say, all of this comes out in the small print, all of this comes out in the documentation, which contains so much more information than was actually given in that very long speech yesterday by Rachel Reeves. That long speech was pruned of some of the more alarming detail. In other words, Rachel Reeves is a liar, and the speech she gave yesterday was calculated to deceive. I couldn't be more shocked.